Welcome back to On the Go Gyan, your pocket dose of podcast Gyan. My name is Rohit,
I am Ajay.
and in this episode, we are going to talk about theory of relativity.
I actually wanted to ask you, have you listened to my speech with the same title, Theory of Relativity?
No, never heard.
You missed it.
When did you give it?
This was my second speech in my first part.
No, I've not heard it.
It was a long time back. You might have not.
That also goes to show that you don't give speeches that often.
Right. I have to work on it. So, I actually liked the way I started off the speech. What I mentioned was, I started off by saying that the temperature is relative in my house. And I quoted a very good example. So, I come in from some shopping or something after getting scorched by the sun, and I come in and I turn on the fan. At that time, I see my sister telling to me, "Hey, it's freezing here. Why do you want the fan?" So you know that the temperature even is relative, and that is why theory of relativity. So that is my very good experience of relativity, not Einstein's relativity, obviously.
Yeah, I think we are not that big of a nerd that we can talk about E is equal to mc square. I actually once dared to look at the full equation. After that, I lost hope in myself actually. I was like, if this equation is this big, I can never do anything in science. So I came into computers.
But you know that equation actually has a very good significance. We all know the meaning of it, right? And I was surprised when I was seeing this movie Interstellar, and people wonder how this time dilation scene, that the planet with water and all, right? And a lot of people come and ask, "Hey, what is going on? What concept is this?" I'm like, relativity. Have you heard about it? It's a very common topic, right?
E is equal to mc square has been made very common, but the truth is that is not the full equation. That is like a reduced version of the actual equation. So that's what I said. When I looked at the real equation, I lost hope completely. I mean, you just Google it, it's there. But even if you're like in the complete heat of physics in 12th class or 11th class, you will still not get the hang of it. There are so many variables, so many constants. Everything is just all over the place.
I have a simpler version of it. I think what we should take from the whole equation is that the way we see things are not the same as how others see them.
We talk about this, right? If there is a moving vehicle, I will look at it in a different angle. So even something like speed is different relative to me. And if you're even standing just beside to me, you're looking at it from a different angle and the speed is relative to you. So the whole concept of relativity falls there only, that where you see something in the universe or in general, it will have that perspective.
That's a very good way to put it.
See, if you are in a box which is completely dark, you will be like, this is my universe. But you don't know there is a lot of the things outside. What if the complete universe is like in one box of some other thing, which obviously we can't see, so we don't know. That is how everything is, right? When you can't see something, you assume it's not there, which is valid also.
Right. From your point of view, it is valid. May not be from others' point of view as well.
Right. There are so many pictures around that someone says something is too tall, the other person is on first floor saying it's too short.
Right. And also this small, the letter 6 seen from both sides.
Yeah. So I think theory of relativity, obviously from physics perspective, we can leave it aside. We are not that great.
Yeah.
Even Interstellar, I know for a fact that was a movie where there were a lot of physics, what do I say, PhD papers written from, I'll not say from the movie, but the movie was based, and during the production of the movie there were a lot of papers written around black hole, time, warping, a lot of things.
Nice.
So the complete movie up till when who was the person, up till that astronaut gets sucked into the black hole, so up till that point everything was based on real theories.
Right. Only
obviously we don't know what happens when you go into a black hole. You don't know.
Exactly.
So
who knows, you or me might find it out. Let's see.
I have zero hopes.
Nice.
Everything you want to do, when we were talking about cracking jokes at press conferences, you wanted to do it.
There's nothing wrong in wanting to do something, right?
There's nothing wrong as long as it does not harm you back.
I think we ourselves have seen a flavor of relativity here. I am seeing things at one point of view and you are seeing it the other point of view. That's very nice and apt.
Yeah, because there's so much I've already done, so I sometimes feel it's okay if I don't do it. Probably you're coming from the other side of it where you've not done a lot and you feel like, I want to do it.
Right.
So that's how it is. I had this wonderful t-shirt. Everyone looked at it and I'll not say complimented, paid notice of it. It said, okay, now I don't want to get that t-shirt. Roughly it says, I might not be right, but I'm never wrong.
I think they say that what I say might not be true for you, but it doesn't mean that it's false for me.
Because whatever people say, and if you assume that no one lies, people are saying what is right and what they feel is right. So there's no wrong as such when you're talking about different observations, situations. People perceive it differently.
But I think this is the very primary factor for conflict in the world. You think so?
That it is. Because, if you take a moment and step back, and how I know this is I was very short-tempered. So I would very impulsively react and not try to take a breath also. If something happened, I'll just jump onto a conclusion and start fighting. But the minute you take a step back or you take a breath, you suddenly start seeing the other side of it, and that you have a narrow vision. So when you're standing too close to something, right, you will only see this much. But the minute you step back, you're able to see a little more. So you are able to see more things, and that is where the perspective comes in, right? You then try to understand that someone else, whatever that person is saying, what is their perspective. So I think the entire crux of conflict resolution that we sort of study is not the right word, learn about in Toastmasters is all revolved around this only. What do you do if you feel you're getting into a conflict?
I actually agree with the fact that you said take a step back and look at it from the other's point of view. I think that would be a very good approach. But what I have done so far is that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking now. I tend to normally listen and be quiet so that the conflict is resolved automatically.
No, actually, it aligns with what we're talking about.
How come?
When you listen, right, it's just another way of widening your perspective. You're listening to the other perspective of it, and you're trying to understand that. So the whole crux here is, it's not just about what you're doing by stepping back, is also trying to widen your perspective. So the whole thing comes there only, because there are so many like simple scenarios also. So this one thing happened with me where I'll not say invited, but I went on stage talking about something and I didn't praise someone like fully in the capacity the person wanted me to praise. But then after the entire thing happened, that person came to me and had a conversation, I'll not say conversation, that person was not very happy with it. But then my perspective was, see, you are looking at I did not praise you. The other side of it is, at least I did not say anything bad.
Right.
So, I mean, if I have to give a false praise, for me, if I have to give a false praise, I will typically avoid. But I will also avoid if I want to criticize someone, I'll avoid trying to criticize someone publicly. So, that person was looking at, you did not praise me.
But you're saying that be happy that I spoke for what I spoke.
So, again, it's just a matter of perspectives. But some third person can come and have a different perspective to the entire scene.
And I think this also comes into different situations in different ways. For instance, take money for example. When you look at, let's say, 5 crores of money or something like that, it might be a big thing to you now. But then when you get to a level when you start earning so much, that would be, I don't think the same way as how you have seen that amount of money now. So perspectives or the way that you look at things change over a period of time, I think.
I think this will fall very well into the iPhone conversations that we always have. We have been with an iPhone always, so you're like, yeah, it is good. I've been with an Android always, so then if I think about, okay, iPhone, and I'm a little skeptical, will I be able to, adapt to it? Because phones are not something that is just kept on one side. It is like part of your lifestyle. It sort of becomes a part of you in a way, I can say. So it has to like merge in fully with you. So I'm a little skeptical, but you've been with an iPhone always, so you have that thought process. Tomorrow, if I tell you, okay, go to an Android,
might not be feasible.
You'll have that same person. Which Android will it be good for me? So many things are there. So again, it all boils down to what someone's perspective is. But what is your opinion? Do you sometimes feel that you should? Sometimes, I'm not saying always. Sometimes accept someone else's perspective blindly?
I think yes, because if at all the conversation that you're having or the relationship that you're having with that person matters more than what you're fighting for, then I think you can accept the person's perspective blindly. But if it does not, or if you can, it doesn't matter if the conversation goes in a heated way, then I think you should not accept the person's perspective blindly. Because blindly, I think, closes a window for you to look at things in a different way. That is what I feel. So you should always have yourself open to conversations or perspectives, but not at the cost of your own thoughts.
Right. Because I always had this view, like, listen to something and just blindly accept it. Because at the start, right, when we are like kids, we do that with our parents.
Right.
Now that you think about it, all those things were what our parents thought is good for us. They themselves don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, they themselves in the moment don't know whether it's right or not. But some trivial things like fire and all, okay, they know. But then other things, which school to go put them into, which probably stream this person should go into, science, commerce, arts. So they
not
themselves
100% clarified one, right?
It's their perspective. Like most of the Indians have that perspective that become an engineer first and then you can do whatever you want. So that's what, at that stage we blindly accept it. But then when does it not become okay? But like you said, you should not compromise on your own thoughts and your own perspective. If it's like 180 degree, probably you won't. But if it's just slightly deviated, then you probably can. And I agree, most of the times, depends on how much respect you give to that person.
Because at the end of the day, more than argument or perspective, relationships do matter. So that also has to be taken into account.
Because tomorrow if someone big comes to me and says this is my perspective, I might blindly accept it.
And the scenario that you were giving, you look at a problem at one particular distance and it gives a view. If you take a step back, it gives a broader view. I can relate a small quote to this from the movie Now You See Me. Have you seen that
I have
movie?
seen.
Ah,
Yeah.
The closer you look, the less you'll actually see. Right. I think that applies a lot to scenarios we face day to day.
Yep. Because see, whenever something happens, right, we try to be as close to it as possible. But then we sometimes just miss the bigger picture. It happens a lot in my office work. The closer I am to the actual problem, the farther away I am from the solution. Bug fix is a small thing. You're squashing a bug. But then you have to see, if you're squashing a bug, how does it put in the larger solution?
Right.
Can there be some other way? And I think in a regular household thing, I can say if there are 10 bugs in front of you, do you go with a chappal and hit all of them and kill them, or do you call pest control? So you have to step back, look at the bigger picture, and only then you can take that call.
Correct. That's a very good example. I think I will relate back to the thing I mentioned at the start of the episode, the temperature one. So
Right.
my place, Virudunagar, it's usually called a very hot place or a place where the temperature is crazy. But then there is this city called Chennai, if you know it. And I visited Chennai for almost 6 months. I mean, I stayed there. That is when I realized that even in my life or even in my state, the temperature difference matters a lot, and we can even feel it ourselves. So that city called Chennai was a totally different experience of the word hot for me. That is my experience with temperature.
I can also relate to it because I've been from Delhi. I've stayed in Delhi and Patiala for a lot of time, close to 8 years. And the weather, when we say hot there, is a different hot, and Chennai has a different hot.
Right.
I mean, obviously, I know it's because of humidity and all, but then different perspectives, and then how people adapt to those lifestyle also changes.
Exactly. So, I think temperature is one of the reasons for all of these. I would say it is the primary reason from my point of view. That's my take on it. You have anything?
Temperature is actually, when you think about it, right? Temperature and climate, more than actually temperature, I'll say climate, because let a lot of other factors also govern your lifestyle, how you look. Because obviously we say all Chinese look alike or all Americans look alike or their lifestyle is alike. But if you think about it, these places have sort of a uniform climate. Even when you look at these country-wise, like in the bigger countries, Russia, USA, China, you will see that there are slight differences based on climate.
Right. So geography matters more than we know. I think that has been good. We have shared our thoughts on theory of relativity or different perspectives as we call it. We would love to hear from our listeners on what they takes on about different types of scenarios they encounter and also different ways to look at relativity. Stay safe and stay healthy until the next episode, and we hope to see you soon.